Hey everybody! Call the spaceship to Davenport, prepare for Divanarchy, and interface with a couch in space. I don't know if I'm feeling good today because I got good vibes, or we're low on oxygen out here in the cosmos. But I'll take it either way. It's good to see all of y'all out here in the void, in the blackness of space, because Space Dog and I, we get a little lonely. Um, but now we get to talk to you and guests every weekend through the power of the internet and also space magic, and also, most importantly, our sponsor. This week, of course, we've got the mighty Tiger Squawk Records sponsoring Space Couch. Fazaz City from Kansas City Science Fiction. It's amazing. Lost Soundtracks from Grasp Logic. Check that out. Virtual Terrorist, the new one. It's just massive. Industrial's Corrupted Memory is just purely wonderful all the way through. New from Grasp Logic, 808. 3 singles from Bitman, and of course Keonic. That's me and Syrinx. And finally, the Gothicals were supposed to play Cold Waves this year, but but you can still get the AP. And Chicago's The Boundless and I did a thing. Check all that out at tigersquawkrecords.bandcamp.com. Oh, we got David, we got Dre, Coffee for Clevin, all on Twitch. It's gonna be wonderful. So, Space Couchketeers, our guest today, I'm really excited to talk to because Gen Con got canceled. So I got that bug, and we're gonna get all into all things nerdery because we got a really cool guest. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Mr. James Sura. What's up, buddy?
What is up? What is up?
Oh, all things are up at all points in times for me, just because I'm out here, in the vastness of the universe. But in your universe, in your horrid, unspeakable universe with 2 portals from beyond, what's going down? How you been, man?
Surviving. This essential worker life is special.
Well, you are an essential part of this episode of Space Couch.
Right.
We briefly just recently had the ENnies, of which you were a part.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, Mark? For the people at home, tell us what the ENnies are.
So the ENnies are, for one better term, a cross between the Academy Awards and the People's Choice Awards, but for the RPG industry.
Awesome.
It's
RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep, tabletop RPGs, old school analog. I know, dirty words. But
No. The couch here is totally mechanical. There's no computers. It's all just like wires I pull and like rudders and stuff.
nice.
So
But basically, it sets up of there's 5 judges, of which I was one last year and I am one this year, who go through all of the submissions.
oh man,
All of them.
that sounds awesome and arduous simultaneously to me.
Yes. I should have brought the picture, but there's an infamous picture I posted of the bookcase of physical submissions,
Okay.
not counting all of the electronic submissions.
Okay. Just like weightlifting stuff.
No, just literally a bookcase full, a
Just a
full
whole
bookcase.
a bookcase full of just
Yes,
submissions for this year.
for this
Um,
patch.
so uh, this year was obviously online. Is it always
You,
so?
so it's always had an online presence.
Hmm.
Way back in the day when the ENnies first started and they were associated with the N World, and they were mostly a D20 award at that time because third edition D&D was the brand new thing.
Hmm.
Because this is like the 19th or 20th ENnies.
Wow, man, it's been that long.
Yeah. Um, it originally took place in an IRC chat room. Was
Get
the first.
out, really? That's awesome. Check this out, everybody. This is just a category I picked at random. Here's kind of what the ENnies look like.
Some of the most thought-provoking, imagination-inspiring work in role-playing gaming comes in setting writing. So now here's the time to find out who will be joining the ranks of any winners past for best setting. The nominees are Americana by Liam Ginty of Sandy Pug Games. We have Arcadia, the Greek setting for 5e by Eugene Fasano and Ken Roberts from Arcana Games. Call of Cthulhu, Berlin, the Wicked City, David Larkins, Mike Mason, and Lynn Hardy from Chaosium. Dead Halt by Ben Duran of Zonware. And Rake Hell, Issue 1, The Rift of Mar Malor. That is from Goatman's Goblet. And the gold ENnie for best setting goes to, my friends and colleagues at Chaosium. Congratulations for inventing Berlin. It's Call of Cthulhu, Berlin, the Wicked City, David Larkins, Mike Mason, and Lynn Hardy.
Thank you very much indeed to the ENnie judges and voters. When I first pitched this project to Chaosium back in 2015, I really never dreamed that I would be accepting an award on behalf of such an amazing creative team all these years later. I want to thank Mike Mason and Lynn Hardy.
Okay, so we're back, and that's kind of how it looks. Very, very Academy Award-y with nominees, and the winner is kind of a thing.
Yep, but basically, so the 5 judges put together the short list of 5 honorees, and then the People's Choice aspect is it goes out to a public vote.
Oh, it's public.
So
very cool.
Yep, so it's the short list is from the judges, and then the public vote. So arguably, there's some 1,000-pound gorillas in the room, like Chaosium or any of the big names can mobilize more public to vote for them. But it's our attempts to keep it both democratic and still somewhat educated, because not everyone gets everything.
Very egalitarian of you. I want to address something going on. We go out, of course, live. You are getting MC Lars levels of love out the gate right here. That's as the previous guest of the show. I meant to say. Duchess says James is the fucking bomb. Brooke says yes. Omega Telex says fuck you low season. And Duchess says many hearts. I hope I'm saying that right. Maybe we'll get into it. So you do have at the ENnies the public gets a voice, but you as sort of the head honcho.
Well,
as far
just
as I'm
judge.
concerned, you're the. Well, we know. Okay, and you're trying to be humble, but us here on Space Couch know the real deal. You get a pick. So let's cut to the James judges pick, if I can. Okay. All right. Oh no, we got movie sign.
All right, next up we have another Judges Spotlight Award. This one is Judge James Serrano presenting to Hit the Streets, Defend the Block by Richard Rogers of Lost Highway Games.
Hey all, James Serrano here, talking about my Judges pick. It's Hit the Streets, Defend the Block. low-level superheroes game where, well, you're low-level superheroes. It's fairly self-explanatory. Has some great mechanics, one of which is designing a neighborhood, so you actually care about the low-level streets that you are hitting and the blocks you are defending. Also has a great section on GMing, which is useful to experienced GMs as well as new GMs. Diverse art, diverse character structures, which is wonderful. And most importantly, in my opinion, it's a game about community because, as I said, you're designing the streets you're hitting, you're designing the blocks you're defending, and you actually care about defending those blocks. That you're taking care of your community and you're bettering your community. And the way 2020 has gone, that doesn't seem like a bad idea to have in our games. So, Hit the Streets, Defend the Block, Lost Highway Games, Judges pick this year. Thank you for letting me serve. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy. Have a good one.
Hi, my name is Rich Rogers, and I'm accepting the Judges Spotlight Award for Hit the Streets, Defend the Block, my first RPG. Thanks, James Serrano, for picking the game. It means a lot. This game wouldn't exist without Paul Edson, my very best friend.
And we're back. Okay, so a lot going on there. Tell me about that judges panel, because there's one judge in particular, besides yourself, that is really cool.
Those were actually the hosts for the ENnies.
Excuse me. Well, we're all about finding out information here, so correct me whatever possible.
Yep.
The hosts.
The online awards, because normally there's just one MC hosting everything as you do award shows, but that's kind of boring on a virtual version. So they put together a panel of hosts. So it was Ken Height and Robin Laws.
Love Ken Height.
Yep.
He can finish his Kickstarter anytime, but I love Ken Height.
Robin's Laws of Gaming, so on. Then it was Chris Spivey,
I always heard said.
Who is the creator of Harlem Unbound, which is an amazing Harlem Renaissance Call of Cthulhu setting. So good.
We are all about Call of Cthulhu here.
So good. Then was Misha, who is another game designer. She's phenomenal. And hold on. Trying to remember the layout visually.
You're fine.
Lower left was Mike Pondsmith, who is the creator as Artist Telsorian Games, who is the creator of Cyberpunk 2020.
Cyberpunk 2020!
A bunch of people might know because there might be a video game coming out this year, theoretically. I've heard rumors.
I've heard. I haven't seen really any promo for it or anything like that. But I've heard there might be a Cyberpunk 2077 video game coming out based on that guy. If you like the other podcast I do, Industrial Nerds, we got into his body of work a little bit. Super cool host lineup this year. I'm gonna be super self-indulgent. Because I love street level superhero stuff.
Yup.
And I love it. Like D&D, Shadowrun Future stuff, sign me up. But superhero RPGs, I can't get enough. So even though you did just explain it a bit, that hit the streets, defend the block sounds amazing. Like, do you as the player design the block, or is that GM stuff?
Pretty much the entire group works together.
That's great.
It's to design the neighborhood, the GM starts with a line drawn for a street.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next player in line puts in a building or a location or a park or whatever and draws another street.
That's amazing.
So it just cycles around until everyone's put in locations where their characters are around, whether apartments, coffee shops, everyone's favorite Chinese restaurant, whatever. And they keep building out the neighborhood together.
That's great. Like, because we've all played the, because like you said in your presentation speech, you care about what you're defending. Because we've all either played or ran the D&D game where the DM like meticulously puts together like this city and the players just go like, we pass it or we burn it down or just like, okay, all right, there goes a day of my life that
and this focuses 100% on street level.
That's great. That's so great.
So This isn't trying to do the Avengers. This is doing the Defenders.
Right. So like people like are people powered or like slightly powered?
The power. Well, it's like the Defenders. I mean, Luke Cage is an Avengers level power.
Right. Okay.
But he's still a street level hero.
Very cool. Okay.
Because it's fighting against things like gentrification, neighborhood drug dealers, things that affect the neighborhood.
Okay.
Versus things that affect
just cosmic horror coming in.
Yeah.
We'll get into a little cosmic horror. Love that as I do. It's funny. I love fighting against like defending the bulletproof liquor store and unfathomable cosmic terror from beyond. Just either end of the spectrum.
It's the middle is boring.
Shout out to the virtual uncle of the ENnies, Russ Morrissey, says Mark Durham. Ariana Sharda says bulb. You got it.
Bulba.
Bulba. Volume is a thing. Like we said, we're in our 20th year of the ENnies. I got to couch this. I know you have favoritism or judge-legal concerns, so I will publicly say veto anything. You have my space authority. What are some challenges you face being a judge in the ENnies?
Honestly, the biggest part is just sheer time management and volume. Like I said, I got a bookcase this year of physical product and even more digital product.
Really?
I want to say there was over 500 books submitted.
Wow. 500?
Yeah, between physical and digital.
That's amazing.
So yeah, some of the digital products are 3 pages, but at least one digital product was like 1,500 pages.
1,500 pages?
It was a mega dungeon. It was like the modern day answer to the world's largest dungeon.
Sorry, I just exhaled into the mic, and that'll come through as like a clip on the podcast. But that's how I feel about 1,500 pages. What is up to Rockstar Jesse Hunt of Conformco in the chat room? That's pretty wild. So then what do you do? Like people's like, here's every reading assignment you've ever had K through 12. Knock this out. Or do you just gotta skim it? Like, and
you go through. You learn quickly where to focus in your reading.
Okay.
You play what you can, as much as you can.
Right.
It's so many games. COVID was a really interesting hit on that this year, because there are some really great games that don't translate to virtual.
Fascinating. You are setting me up well for transitions. What is the state of ENnies and I will say maybe gaming in this virtual quarantine world?
So just my observation. So the ENnies this year, we extended the physical deadline just because of all the shipping problems, and did what we can. Last year is in the bag. Thankfully. I always forget when I judge how much I hate April and May.
Okay. All right.
Because everyone turns in stuff at the last minute.
Yeah.
So it's like I get packages throughout the year, but from about April 1st until we extended it into June.
Okay.
We extended it all the way to the end of May, the beginning of June with COVID. So all of April and most of May, I was getting 3 or 4 packages a day.
Just the mailman's like, this fucking guy. Like,
Yep.
Like,
honestly, we have no idea what's going on this year.
Oh, really?
And how it's going to convert. So usually judging, companies are given a chance to save some money on shipping at Gen Con, and they can just turn stuff into the ENnies booth. And then the ENnies will ship it out to the judges if the judges aren't there.
Okay.
So, like, they can walk across the dealer hall and be like, I'm submitting these books.
Right. Just
obviously, that didn't happen this year.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, it's now all on the companies to ship. So,
like, do you think that, the guy that just wrote down whatever in a Mead notebook and would otherwise hand it to you is now less inclined to send it to you?
Well, most of those small gamers like that don't do physical copy. They just do PDF copy, whether through itch.io or DriveThruRPG. So I don't think that's going to be too big of an issue. Just because I think the smaller guys are just going to keep submitting on PDF the way they have been.
Okay. High level, and I know you can't get into specifics. Feel free to just pass on this. Is there any very general submission tips you could give, be it spell check or don't ship your shit in a third generation Amazon box?
Two biggest ones. One is a production. One is a production and just for designers, period. Don't skimp on your editor.
Okay. Very
Don't
good.
skimp on your editor. Like edit your books.
Okay. Just we don't need like a rambling backstory about this vampire's third cousin.
Just, please.
Yeah.
Love
Okay.
all. Your editors are your best friend.
And I know you love the world you've made, but your editors are your best. Okay. Very cool.
And the other one is, don't be that person handing it in at the last minute.
Okay. Interesting.
Like, aim to get your stuff in. Like, I get it. If a book doesn't release until April, you can't submit it until April. But if your book released in August, submit it before April.
Okay. Very cool. Just in terms of a volume thing, like you were saying, if you're getting 10 packages a day, cool.
Yeah. That's slight hyperbole, but only slight.
Okay. David, my buddy David says, typeset the entire thing in Comic Sans. No. But
I mean, it's accessible.
What's
it's an
that?
accessibility font, so there's that.
Okay. That's not something I would have thought of. Font accessibility. Yeah, you want that. You don't want, have you had that? Like if somebody submits a PDF that comes through and all, like they wrote it in some weird font and it comes through as like all squares or something like that?
No, we had one person, if I remember correctly, we had one person send the font with it.
Oh, really?
But they had a super sweet, awesome font. It was
setting the atmosphere. Really... All right. Yeah. Very, because the ENnies, I have many friends in gamings, and a lot of games live or die on that. Like, I'm originally, spent a lot of time in Chicago, so all the Eclipse Phase guys, once those ENnies came in, that's just the closest I've been to it. Oh my God, we got a gold ENnie, we got a silver ENnie. And so you do really good work for a lot of hardworking, often self-employed people.
It's nice having things recognized.
And it's fan-based. Like, that's cool. Like, it wasn't this from on high, like, we are wizards of the coast.
It's,
like,
I mean, there's two parts to that, because there's always, when a major company is competing against small indie companies, they're probably going to get out the vote better.
Yeah.
We refer to them as the 1,000-pound gorillas.
Right. Very cool.
But
so, well, I was going to ask you what games you're playing, but we just did a bunch of non-favoritism stuff, so we can jump off of that.
I can gladly. Most of the stuff I'm playing right now hasn't been eligible for an ENnie for a while.
Fantastic. What are you liking these days?
I'm loving Blades in the Dark.
What is that?
Why did I just blank on his name? I want to say it's John Harper. It's a very extreme hack of the Apocalypse World type stuff.
Okay.
But basically it's a heist game. It's a heist criminal game.
In the Apocalypse?
Well, Powered by the Apocalypse is the Apocalypse World setting.
Okay.
Basically, it's very player forward. GM doesn't touch dice almost ever.
Really?
It's all players are rolling dice and coming through, narrating their successes and failures as well.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Very player forward game. Has a wonderful inventory system of you just pick how many items you're carrying. And then it's Schrodinger's items. Do I have them or not? Let's see if I need them. So you don't have. It's not the Shadow Run. I need to have all the right gear for this run.
Okay.
you have the right gear. You just don't know it yet.
That's great. Like, because I mean, we've all played the campaign where it's like, yeah, I have a Toyota Previa full of like guns, but now I just need like a Phillips head screwdriver and I'm screwed. Like,
yep. So it's basically you have Schrodinger's equipment list.
That's good.
You pick, am I traveling light, am I traveling normal, or am I traveling heavy? And it's however many items you have, and then when you need an item, you just check off that item.
Right. That's very smart. I love that. And good stuff. We'll check out Blades in
the Dark.
Blades in the Dark. I almost said Blades of Steel because I'm a Nintendo kid.
That's
fair. Check this out, though. Speaking of Nintendo, we could jump to video games. You playing any games that we should know about?
Right now, so I am so far behind on video games.
Okay.
Just in general.
That's okay.
I just mainly because I'm cheap and I do so much analog gaming.
Okay, right.
Like,
no, I get
with
it.
the exception of the Assassin's Creed games, I'm never gonna drop $60 for a brand new release that I know I'm not gonna get to for a year.
1000%. I just had the time of my life playing through 1993 Doom. It was the best.
Yep. So this entire COVID time period, I've played through all of the Uncharted's finally. I'm playing through the recent Tomb Raider trilogy, and I just picked up the BioShock trilogy.
No, nice.
They were super cheap.
That's great. It's I remember saving pennies to buy the Batman Nintendo game with change, and now I can just get them all for $5.
Yeah.
Let's turn your life into a video game. Do submissions come at you like Tetris pieces, and you gotta like fit them all in, or like is there like a bouncer skill challenge or like a Sims kind of a thing?
It's probably very like Sim/RPG decision tree-esque.
Okay.
Say that.
Very cool. Very cool. Can it be? God, was it Dragon Age? There was some series where like their choices would be like yes, no, and like you're answering like, hey, do you like this guy? And like I want to say yes, and I click yes, and then my character says, I hate that guy. Kill his family. No. Oh god.
I think that was Dragon Age.
Jesse says Streets of Rage has always been my jammer. Hell yes, that early '90s techno soundtrack.
Yep.
I will forever this day just smash trash cans with large pipes, hoping to find an apple inside, to heal me. So
I've been outside the club with him. It's true.
We have, and we will get into that. With the mighty Albany, one of my favorite places to play in this country or anywhere else. Although in gaming world a bit, because I'm having fun with it. I have given you a magical wand that lets you license any property, like an existing movie or a book or whatever, into a game, be it tabletop, video game, collectible card game, whatever. If you could license any property, what might that look like?
Ooh. So it's weird because most properties that I really want licensed have already been licensed into pretty good games.
Okay. Like, give me an example.
Leverage.
The TV show?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a play on the Cortex system. It's really good at competence porn.
Cool. I didn't know. That's tabletop then?
Yep.
Very cool.
I think it's still in print. It came out like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Like right at the height of Leverage before the series was finished.
Well, you could always do the Leverage like CCG, like you throw it like, I don't know, like hack the laser system cards or something like that.
I was gonna say I could see that being like a Dominion-esque deck building.
Ooh, very good. Yeah, like somebody throws out like somebody tripped the silent alarm, so now you all got to deal with that. Like,
Yep.
very cool. Good call. Leverage deck building. I love it.
Huh. Yeah, anyone that runs with this idea, I want at least a promo copy.
Cool.
I mean, cheap date.
Yeah. Could do some, leverage deck building.
Leverage.
Seen any movies you like lately?
Not like I've been rewatching a bunch of stuff movie wise, but I've also actually I'm gonna go and I'm gonna love ranting about this.
Okay, go on. Long form interview. Go ahead.
I fell back into old '80s television.
Love it. Oh, you're in the right place.
Spencer for Hire.
Yes.
I have been blowing through that, and I forgot how amazing that series is.
Yeah.
And how much I love the books it's based on. And Avery Brooks is the fucking man.
Oh, is he in Spencer for Hire?
He's Hawk.
Oh my God.
Captain Sisko is Hawk.
Oh, I didn't put that together.
Yes.
Oh.
He literally played two of my biggest television role models growing up.
That's crazy. I'm sorry. You're witnessing me have an epiphany in real time here.
Yep.
Or however long it takes the signal to get back to you on Earth.
It shows when Sisko knocks out Q in episode 4, then when they come back and Sisko has the shaved head and the goatee. And it's just like, Hawk in space!
Oh, so would it be like a reality shifting tabletop where you just go through the many roles of Avery Brooks?
I could get with that, but I was actually thinking, because the thing that makes Spencer, both the books and the TV series, so good is just the dialogue.
Okay.
I could see it just be a selecting dialogue, like a Telltale game.
Right. Oh, okay, cool.
Of the interactive not quite choose your own adventure, but choose your own path type.
So a Telltale game style. Just for the people, you build the plot as you go, yeah?
Yep. It's they're one part comic book, one part choose your own adventure.
Mm-hmm.
The two big ones is there's 4 seasons of Walking Dead for the Telltale games.
Okay.
And each season builds on where you ended the last game.
Oh, cool.
So, and they'll flash at the end. It's on this decision, 55% of players chose this option. And just watching it with the dialogue choices.
Interesting. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, so check out, wait for that leverage deck building game and Spencer for Hire Telltale game. I was not expecting a Spencer for Hire reference. So good.
Spencer for Hire, up until recently, was not on streaming. My roommate got me the complete series on DVD.
Okay.
For my birthday. Literally the day after, it was all on streaming.
Yeah,
it's all on Amazon Prime.
That's always how it happens.
Also, do yourself a favor and skip Spencer Confidential on Netflix.
Spencer Confidential, no good.
It's got my boy Winston Dukes in it, which is amazing. But yeah, no, it's
because I love a Winston Dukes, man.
But it's a Mark Wahlberg movie.
Oh, okay, okay.
It would be an okay Mark Wahlberg movie, but it's not a Spencer movie.
All right. Noted. Thank you. All right. So, we will. One of my favorite Deep Space Nine joke is I miss Deep Space Nine so much I bought an IBM because the Emissary told me to. Because he did those commercials. I stole that joke from the great Luke Ski, and we'll transition into your wonderful knowledge of nerdcore rap. Because we last saw each other. You came out to. I have a base on Earth. Normally I'm in space, but I have a base on Earth in Boston. And you came from the mighty Albany or Troy or wherever you are into Boston, and we saw MC Lars and Schaefer the Dark Lord destroy. That was one of the coolest shows I'd seen.
So good.
Seen all year. I mean, literally, because COVID hit 18 seconds after that. But
yeah, seriously.
We just had a blast at that show, and your knowledge of nerdcore rap is quite extensive. Not only do you have a library of any submissions, but you have a bookshelf of nerdcore rap.
I do have a very impressive collection of nerdcore signed
Oh,
bootlegs
wow. You were
from back in the day when everything was on CDR.
Yes! Oh, kick ass! Yeah, I
So
remember
I would
that.
show up and be like, so I just bought all of your discography to support you, but the one I really want you to sign is this really beat to hell CDR my friend burned for me 2 years ago.
That's funny. That's
So I have a
funny.
collection of signed bootleg CDRs.
Well, see, you were classy about it. Like, you actually bought it. Like, Assemblage 23, Tom Shear was, I just read in an interview and then later asked him about it. Like, people would bring CDRs for him to sign, and he would just turn them over and sign the back. But our guest today is a classy MF, so of course you got it first. Who are some nerdcore artists we should check out?
So I'm a little bit behind on things just
Okay.
because directions go in directions.
Well, yeah, you only
but,
have 18 irons in the fire. You're fine, man.
But right now, of like the new crop,
Mm-hmm. Yes,
you have
new
not
crop.
checked out Lex the Lexicon artist.
Okay. Lex the
Get
Lexicon.
on Alex's
Okay.
Get on Alex's music. She's amazing.
All right. Like just killer rhymes or what?
Whole deal. Performance,
Okay.
live performance, writing ability, beat selection. She's
Total package.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice.
She actually just did a stream with Mount Nerdcore, which is like Frontalot, Random,
Yeah.
Lars, and Schaefer.
Okay.
She just did a stream with them last night. She
That's
was
a
on tour
podcast.
with Schaefer last year,
Okay.
on top of her own tour.
Impressive.
She's on that hustle life.
Very, very cool. Yeah, that was great. Like Schaefer the Dark Lord we played with actually like 1,000 years ago, and just like the ability that guy has, and so we'll check out Lex the Lexicon artist. Very,
Yep.
if I'm saying that properly.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep, that is correct.
And is there a good? Go on.
I was going to say the other ones. I mean, if you haven't checked out Michael Kill yet, check out Michael Kill.
All right.
Thought Criminals, which is Thought Criminals. He's in like 8,000 groups.
Okay, right. It happens.
I was going to say, I think you might have some idea.
So I got an inkling.
Yeah. Thought Criminals, Troubleshooters, 2 weeks notice. I'm missing someone, and Michael will yell at me later. It's cool.
It's all right. It's Space Cat. It's okay. It's okay. You know, we don't.
Yep.
No, there's no. Terrifying mask requiring diseases out here in the cosmos. For now, so stay home. And is there a good spot to discover this sort of stuff? Do you just sort of absorb it osmotically?
What I found is you find one person and become friends with one person, and then you start checking out the people that they're doing stuff with.
That's how I do it. Like, yeah, that's like, I'm friends with Luke, and then like we did the thing with Schaefer, and then Rodney Anonymous was like, "Do you know MC Lars?" And like, I know the name, and then we did that song together, and then he's he comes to Chicago, and some dude named Mega Ran is opening, and holy shit! And then what's that?
Raheem kills it. Rand kills it.
He actually go on.
Sorry, no, you go. And then...
I was just gonna say, like, and I'll bring it. This is hopefully the last time I'll bring it back to myself. We played with him at a gaming convention in Phoenix, and he's like, "Can I go on first?" Like, he just wanted to, like, his big night was like the night before, and he just wanted to like hit a few more tracks. And he's like, "I'll open." I'm like, "All right, whatever." And then so he just crushes, and we're like, "Oh, I don't think we can. Should we just go home?" Like. And that's the whole story. He was amazing.
So along those lines, I can't believe I forgot to mention her. If you have not checked out Samus, just like Metroid, Samus.
Okay.
She's amazing.
Okay. Cool. Check out
phenomenal. Samus. Probably one of the greatest. She just finished her PhD last year. On top of it all,
Damn, like she's a legit Dr. Samus.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, 100%. The reason I laugh is she pulled the can I do the opening? I'm nervous. Can I just do the opening? Multiple times on people in the nerdcore scene until finally they were like, nope. Nope.
Yeah.
For you. Nope.
And that used to be my move 20 years ago. And so now when people do it, I'm like, okay, I'll keep my eyes on you. But like, I should have known the mighty Mega Man would have had a fucking Mega Man blaster up his sleeve.
She was actually on tour with Ran as the Rappers with Arm Cannons tour a few years ago.
Oh, it makes my heart happy that such a thing exists.
That was a few years. That was a good 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay.
But
cool.
Tour I wish I had been able to get to.
If you see any of those guys coming through your town once the Earth starts back up, check those out. And MC Lars, former guest of the show, and possible future Gothicals collaborator. You heard it here first on Space Couch. So amazing! Like, was really cool seeing you at that show. And I talked with Lars a little bit about this on his episode. Like, the amount of stuff he gets the audience to do just blew my mind. Like,
and he's been doing that for years.
Yeah, you could tell right away. Like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. But
because I first saw Lars live in like 08. Somewhere in that range. I want to say it was 08, 09. He and Whitey Cracker had just did their pre-Kickstarter crowdsourcing of an album, of the Digital Gangster LP. And they had just done the documentary on Frontalot and everything. So I saw him in this weird little art theater here in Albany. And then they did a concert after the documentary.
Okay.
But no one cleared the chairs. So it's still all folding chairs. So everyone's just sort of like, I guess we're sitting down.
It's weird.
And everyone on stage was like, are they engaged? They'd get to the call and response and everyone was just like, Brah! And they're like, oh, no one took the chairs away.
Okay.
That's why everyone's sitting.
That's funny. What a weird, like, human thing. Where I'm just like, there's a chair here. I guess I'll sit in it. Like,
this room is filled with chairs. I guess we're supposed to sit.
Right. Well, we're gonna stay in music world for a second, but I do want to transition to our kind of favorite topic here on Space Couch and really in life, industrial music. I know we see each other a fair amount at the wonderful Ex-Humanity, Ex-Human Nights in my beloved Albany, and looks like you've been DJing a bit for Ex-Humanity.
That started a couple years ago.
That's awesome.
It's been interesting. It's been really interesting finding where I fit in, because it started as kind of a joke.
What do you mean a joke? Just because like everybody loves you and it's like now you're behind the deck sort of a thing, or what?
No, there was a running joke of TKO, Omega Tele, Techi, Caseback, and Omega Telic.
These are DJs.
Those are DJs locally. It was supposed to be them versus Salvage Squad, Boss Salvage, Harry.
Fellow Gossigal.
And it was one of those moments of they needed another person.
Okay.
And then they might have handed me a bunch of whiskey and cider and said, you get another person. And I was like, okay.
Yay.
So it's been interesting, but it's been really kind of awesome, especially finding out exactly where I fit in. And that's been the interesting thing.
Like your musical shtick or like your vibe or what?
Yeah, just where I fall in, because like Albany has a really love for dark tribal industrial and industrial rave and all, and I love all these things, but it's not what I do or who I am. There are things you know what I mean? There are things I love.
Right.
But it's never going to be like, what am I going to put on? That.
Right.
But especially actually since COVID and everything went virtual, when the clubs had to close down and everyone went to Twitch streaming. It's been very interesting because it means we get to play around a lot more.
Oh, okay. What do you mean? Like you don't have to worry about a dance floor clearing kind of a thing?
We don't have to worry about a dance floor, so we can get a little bit more experimental. We don't necessarily have to worry about the issue of having 8 DJs on a night at a club, which is just ridiculous. But 8 DJs on a live stream is perfectly fine.
Word.
Because it's like switching back and forth is
very cool. Like it's just harder to do in like a physical space, like having some guy scooch behind the table.
Yeah, that's basically it's. And how many laptops are you going to have set up?
Okay.
How many monitors? How many control? Like,
what's up to Industrial in the chat room? What's plugging his album at the top? So cool. Like you get to. I've enjoyed the virtual space for live shows. I have to say, like, there's no loadout. You know, like when the show ends, I'm home.
I was going to say that's the other piece, because Albany's a 4 a.m. city.
Yeah, it is. I've
So normally it'd be 4 a.m. break down till 5, then get breakfast, home by 7.
Wow. Yeah. You guys go hard. Like, I've had to ask local promoter Mechno to be like, can you take me home, please? I'm so tired. So. You've mentioned you're still trying to find your place. Like, is it like what you're still trying to figure out, like what to play, like what you associate with you?
Through all of this, it's finally kind of settled in. So I got to the goth industrial scene completely ass backwards.
No judgment.
So I am at heart a hip hop kid.
Okay.
I've always loved electronic instrumentals, but I'm at heart a hip hop kid.
All right.
And then I followed hip-hop DJs into the rave scene when they started spinning jungle and breakbeat and whatnot. And then I'd follow DJs from the rave scene into the goth scene.
That is an interesting path.
Because I was just sort of following the DJs.
Right. Very cool.
So at heart, I'm a hip-hop kid. So as much as I love all of the other dark musics, I keep coming back to hip hop.
Okay, so like, do you spin like an industrial hip hop mix, like?
I've actually
SMP or something.
When no one was paying attention in the past few years, it feels like industrial hip hop's made a super secret comeback.
Right. like
it's hidden under terms like experimental hip hop or noise rap.
Yeah, like I'm listening to like a lot of like Morris Black stuff, and I'm like, this is hip hop as shit. Like, it's great, I love it, but yeah.
So it's like all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second.
I see what you did there.
And then I can take this and I can start flipping very political hip hop because obviously I have opinions on the world,
right?
And people made the mistake of giving me a forum.
Have you? So. Hell yeah, you have a forum. So, like, Vegard asks about viewership on stream shows, and, I'm curious how COVID World is doing with, what it's doing to the mighty Albany. Like, Fusebox, as far as you know, is solvent, or is it just...
As far as we know, the Fusebox is doing what the Fusebox does, and it will not, in general, be open to the public until January 2021 at the earliest.
Okay.
This is unofficial. This is just what I've grapevine.
Yeah, we're just talking. I'm just saying.
But overall, our Twitch streams and following, we're still keeping the same schedule. 100% first Fridays.
Very cool.
And
that's Ex-Humanity is the name of the...
Ex-Humanity is the club night.
Cool. So
Ex-Human is the community and collective project that Paul's Mechno started a few years ago.
Bookmark that 1 second. Shout out to Angel Spit in the chat room. What's up, Big K?
What up?
And we have played, I think maybe had played the aforementioned fuse box with Angel Spit. That was a cool tour. But
at least one.
At least once. Let's be a little professional. If you want to toss out some URLs.
I
know I just put you on the spot. It's like X-Humanity.
Yeah, no, I meant to have a list of URLs, and I failed at all of this.
But
if you just generally do a search, most of it's housed on the Facebook. There's a Discord and whatnot, but you'll find links on the Facebook group.
Okay.
It's the X-Human Facebook group.
That's EX Human.
Yep, EXHUMAN, and then X-Humanity, EXHUMANITY. That'll pull up the club night. If you're looking for my DJ page and that ridiculous joke of a shit show, which is mostly me amusing myself / posting set lists, it's facebook.com/Faculo World Problems.
Oh, Faculo is your DJ name. Okay.
Yep, which is actually
I thought it was Faculo.
It's some ways a throwback to your song, second album means it's too late to change your name.
Okay.
Because I have been known online as Scholar or Scholar99.
Okay. Oh, that's you. Okay.
Since forever.
Yeah. I don't know.
But like forever, ever. So when I was looking for a DJ name, I was like, but everything's already under one thing.
Okay.
But Faculo is actually a misspelling of the Esperanto word for scholar.
Fascinating. Okay.
So
snapping into focus.
Every time I try to explain to someone where it comes from, all I can think of is second album's too late to change.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Good stuff. The aforementioned Omega Telex says you want to check out twitchtv.xhumanity. And former guest of the show of Noisebox and Data Bomb, Dre tosses out a great example for hip-hop and industrial. It says that truth, look at Rhythm Nation. The the Janet Jackson track.
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong. You could swap out a Suicide Commando track and keep the video, and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
The hats. Boss Salvage has hashtag Faculofax. I dig it. I want to, sort of like a scrolling world video game. We're gonna come back around to the start, because I don't game nearly as much as I used to because I'm doing so much music these days. But of course, had my dedicated game day for a long time and everything, and we'll still bust out the occasional superhero thing. Are you seeing, and again, under the auspices of, let me know, but are you noticing any, like, trends? Just, you see more of, for good or for ill or for whatever reason, future stuff or near future, anything like that?
Not particularly in genre,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm seeing a lot more attempts at inclusion and representation.
Great.
And safety tools and stuff.
That seems pretty heartening to me.
Yeah, like the community is actually starting to come along, and it's almost anti-Gamergate.
There's
still
awesome.
There's still plenty of issues.
Okay.
But like, it feels like the industry is starting to, at least on the inside, veer away from those issues and embracing progress.
I think it was like 4th edition that you have like the pages of the races, and for the human page it was a black woman as representation of human that a lot of people
and there's a lot more in a lot of games. It's one of the things I loved about Hit the Streets is it felt like being in a city of
cool, all
different races, all different cultures, all different indicators, and it's just like, oh wow, they're realizing that there's more than two of everything. It's not normal or political.
Expand on that. What do you mean?
There's a meme going around about gamers being like, why does everything have to be political? Why can't it just be?
Because that's the way the world is.
Yep. So
So you've run through Hit the Streets a couple of times, yeah? Or at least
I've played
once?
it a couple of times and
Okay.
gotten very familiar with the text.
I am going to commit a gamer sin, but it's my show, so I don't care. Tell me about your character.
I've actually been mostly running type things.
Okay.
Running games for it.
Awesome. Have any particular? Give me a war story, like any cool
It's
thing.
mostly been one shots just to get the core mechanics out, just because. See previous statement of I got over 500 gaming books last year.
Totally.
That's also not counting anything I bought on my own.
Awesome. And you still buy games on your own. That's James, man. Like, I just spilled coffee because I got so excited. But like, not only you get 500 games in the mail, and you still will invest in stuff yourself. But like,
yeah.
And give me like a moment of Hit the Streets that you liked.
The biggest piece about it I really enjoy is its narrative first. The way they do the powers is they're narratively described. Of I have skin as hard as steel.
Okay.
To use like the Luke Cage.
Right.
So it's not like invulnerable or damage reduction to this.
Right.
You explain how that works in a situation.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And so to quote one of my favorite game designers, who's also a good friend of mine, I'm really dumb. If you tell me a good story, I'll probably believe you.
Okay. So I know this is the oldest pun in gaming, but it's a little bit more role ROLE playing and not role ROLL playing, or are there dice involved?
Yep, there are dice, but it's very focused on the narrative and player first.
Cool. Well, we'll check out Hit the Streets. You know, when I'm not playing Mutants and Masterminds or some old school gaming shit like that.
Icons.
If you want
to go back to that, go to Icons.
Yeah, good call. Do you, where do you think we'll be? We hit, I love a good convention. In Boston, we hit PAX just on the knife's edge of COVID. Do you see us coming back to Convention World next year?
I don't. Maybe for the late summers.
You think so? Cool.
I think Origins will be pushing it. I think Gen Con and Dragon Con are possible. If people are smart. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Don't be dumb.
Right. You gotta, give yourself as many stamina bonuses as possible.
Yeah.
It's
one of my favorite memes I've seen recently is gamers are taking this seriously. We know how often 2% comes up. It's like that one on a D20, that's 5%.
Oh, that was funny, but like, a lot of people, unless you've rolled a lot of D100s, you think, go on. Sorry, I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but no, that's exactly it. It's like I use the 5% just because the math is a little bit easier. Sure. But unless you've rolled a lot of D20s, 5% doesn't sound that bad.
Sounds like it's the same as 0.
On the other hand, you've written a song about it.
Oh, you. But you're not wrong. Like emotionally, 5% equals 0, but that motherfucking 5% comes up all the time. Oh, that's I love that. That's what a good out. We are on a rogue flight path out here in space. I'm gonna start turning the space couch back around to the station. Do you have any final thoughts or things you want to get out? Where should we check out the ENnies in the future? Well, I know we've got to go to Twitch /XHumanity for DJing stuff.
And particularly with the Twitch channel on XHumanity, our Xanniversary is coming up next month, first Friday. Who knows when the first Friday in September is, off the top of your head? Linear time, I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's all time curves out here in space, so.
Looks like September 4th.
September 4th, very good.
It's our Xanniversary. We have some stuff planned. I know there's actually some XHumanity t-shirts that are up for sale now.
Oh, they look great. Check those out. Check out the X Humanity T-shirts.
Yep. Some big things are in the planning.
Very cool. We'll definitely check that out. Like there is, it's a little bit off camera now, but there's a X-versary poster of when we did the Gossicles played with Witch Doctor in the back. There's the X-versary posters. Oh, those the art on those is so good. I have art too. And if you're in the area and the world opens back up, X Humanity puts on a great show. Never had a bad night. You want to check out, I don't know, the ENnies website has a lot of information on it.
Yes. I always forget what it is because I fail to bookmark anything.
That's
so
okay.
I usually just Google it. We just have a revamped page. It's actually super pretty and well done, cool. And brought into like the 2020s.
And you can view the very recent ENnies presentation with all the hosts we mentioned and our guest today at twitch.tv/GenCon Studio. It took me a second to find that, by the way. So if anybody, because I know gaming officials all love Space Couch, but it's GenCon Studio, fascinating stuff, lots of games I didn't know about. Even in the video that we played today, I didn't know we had a Call of Cthulhu Berlin. Get some
such a good setting.
Donor kebabs from beyond.
It's Weimar Berlin. So good.
Cool. So it's Weimar Berlin, not 2020 Berlin. Very cool.
So good.
What an interesting setting for like occultism with all the stuff that was starting up.
Yeah.
Now I know I had one for setting, and I'm distorting a bit, but that's how excited I am. We're gonna check that out. We're gonna check out X Humanity on the 4th. We're stay tuned for the Leverage deck building game and the Spencer for Hire RPG. This has been an amazing episode of Space Couch.
Awesome.
This is Brian for James for the ENnies and X Humanity for Space Couch saying call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for Divanarchy, and interface with a couch in space. Space Couch out. Yeah. Awesome.
Excellent.
Great episode. Oh man, I gotta check out the Hits the Streets though. I wasn't kidding. Like,
yeah, no, it's really good.
I'm gonna roll up some karate, dude. It's gonna be great. Tentacle karate. We'll figure it out.
I will let you know. I've been toying with the idea of putting together a Zoom game.
Oh, I don't have I'm not kidding. Like, I'm so into this new Gossicles album, but like, if you need like maybe a one-off or something.
I would say when I say I'm putting together a game, it probably means a one-off.
Okay, word.